most people were ready to jump off the bandwagon, after our first couple losses. So that's definitely hard emotionally for a lot of guys. But you know what? Oregon football is all about fast, hard finish. And when it comes down to the end of the day, where it's the last game, last play, whatever, we're going to finish. And I think we really made that statement.
How much did you guys kind of need this win today after the 2 losses in November to kind of, get rid of the naysayers?
I think it's bigger than, just our own personal seasons. Civil War. There's definitely a rivalry here. You can see it on back of everybody's cars and stuff. I mean, this is kind of what it's all about in Oregon, right? I know when I first came here, they were like, Civil War is the game. We have to win. I'm just honored to say I've never lost to the Beavers since coming here.
Daryle, tell us what this program, what these guys, what this place means to you personally now that you played your last game here.
Oh, man. That's a heavy one. Honestly, I've shed a lot of tears today, and none of them have really been for me. It's just all my team, my boys, my wide receiver core, all them guys, Marcus, all the guys on the O-line. That team is really something special, and I feel like these last 5 years I really grew up here, and I became a man, and I'm honored to call this place my home, and that, all these other guys on my team and the young guys that are coming up, they're going to call this place their home too. And it's amazing to be a part of something that's really this awesome, and it's going to continue to be awesome for a long time.
Take us through that final drive from an emotional standpoint. What was that like?
Oh, I mean, we had our mind made up that we were going to go and we were going to score. Like, there was no question about it. I mean, when you come out and you step on that field, we were going to bring it, and there's nothing that was going to stop us. When you come out with that type of intensity, it's hard for anybody to match it. And I know psychologically the other team has to be like, we got to come out, we're going to stop, and we're going to do this. But, much of what we've done this season is imposing our will on other teams. And so when we come out and we execute and we have the mindset that we are not going to be stopped, we do that.
You got to carry out of the backfield today.
Yeah, that was like a flashback to my freshman year when I was running everything. Coach Frost, I think he probably forgot I was out there, in that position. But I tried to give a little shimmy shake, and then I slipped on the ground. I know it was a little slippery out there. Got a nice light drizzle, but definitely brought back some memories, I got razzed about it a little bit on the sideline, but it's whatever.
Your wide receiver core especially seems really close-knit. To see the kind of performance that Josh had today on senior day and the way he led your team back, what does that mean to you guys as a group?
I mean, I feel like as a wide receiver core, we've really tried to set a standard, as being really hardworking. We finish blocks, and, for a long time, we're kind of the unsung heroes outside, like, we're the weak link on the team, and, we block, and we're kind of just like skinny linemen out there, but now we're, taking people out and making plays and making the clutch catches, and I feel like there's been an evolution, since we've been here of what the wide receiver core means to this team, and I'm just honored that, we can come out and we can perform, and the team can lean on us when they need us to.
Daryle, Josh said that you ran a nice route on the very last touchdown catch to have the safety kind of go with you, free him up. Can you talk about that last play?
Football's a game a lot about sacrifices. And I mean, when everybody executes exactly how they're supposed to do it, it makes it so that way people can make plays. And I'm honored that I can make, not necessarily make that play, but help make that play for Josh any easier. I mean, that's what we do. We try and sacrifice anything we can so that way other guys can make plays. It's a lot of the selflessness of this team. You really have to be selfless in order to succeed.
Where does this game stack up in your whole career? Not just as a Duck, but even back to the high school days. Did you ever play in a game like this?
Man. Probably state championship in high school. My junior year was stacked up to this a little bit just because, it was a school that I transferred from and a little bit of emotions. But, I talked to a lot of the older guys and they're like, the game that you always remember is usually the Civil War because it's your last home game in Autzen Stadium. And you're going to remember, what the weather is like, what plays you made, singing the fight song, hopefully, and the smile on everybody's faces when you win. And I think that's something that I'm going to hold for a long time, and nobody's ever going to take that away.
Is this a game you're going to tell your kids about and hope that they tell their kids?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I'd like to come back one day and, people are talking about, remember that Civil War when you guys went and drove last play of the game and then Josh Huff scored a touchdown? I'd be like, yeah, I was in there. we were something special.
That's a good grandpa voice.
Well, you know, I've learned it from my grandpa.
Is there one particular thing, at least this fresh off that win, that stands out to you that you'll remember most? A scene or...
Probably when my mom hopped over the fence and gave me a big hug and kissed me on the cheek. For a second, I was a little embarrassed, and then I was like, this is pure Kodak moment. So I'm definitely going to hold that one for forever. Kissing my wife, my dad, almost in tears, giving me a hug. I mean, I know they don't really get to come out to too many games coming all the way from Nebraska, but to have them here for my very last one, really something special.